everybody, what's up? How's it been? Good. Welcome to the dialogue. I'm Andrew, this is Derek. We're glad that you stopped by. And we're going to talk about something that, you know what? You have like this little eyelash on your cheek. Can you just get that? It's going to bug me the whole bit.
Is it gone?
Yeah, it's gone.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to talk about something that's a little more exciting than eyelashes floating around. BVS versus Civil War. Both these movies have come out. They've seen the light of day. They've met most of the critics.
Yeah.
What's your take?
So, there's obviously some major similarities between the two movies, and we were kind of talking about this, and we want to point out some of those. So, for instance, there's similarities between the mother themes, interestingly enough.
It was interesting, yeah.
Yeah, so obviously there's going to be some spoilers here. Hopefully that's going to just be in the title of the video, so you should already know. But basically...
Spoilers ahead.
Basically, you know, Iron Man, right? So
right.
He's like...
Iron Man.
His justification for fighting Bucky and for fighting Steve Rogers and being like willing to kill both of them is that Bucky killed his mother
right
a long time ago. So
and he wasn't in his own. He was brainwashed, but still,
he killed
her. And that was like when it was brought up to that point. Like I want to call him Rogers, Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers.
When Mr. Rogers, confronts him about that, he basically comes back with just the line, "He killed my mother."
Right.
I think that's what he says. And I was telling you,
he killed my mother.
I kind of felt like this. I think that's good enough justification. Maybe not. I don't know.
I think his full line is, "I don't care. He killed my mother. I don't care.
I don't care. He killed my mother." Right. So I don't know.
Yeah. So I mean, there's a little bit of that, and then you have the Batman v Superman side of things, where it's like, Batman's mother died at the hands of a robber, and then his mother's name was Martha, and then basically he finds out that...
Spoilers?
Superman's mother's name is Martha as well. And right as he's about to kill Superman, he decides to spare his life because of the connection that he sees in humanity.
Right.
Through the mother.
Why'd you say that name? Yeah, for him it was kind of like, there's no reason for you to say that name, except if you're referencing my mother, because that's just what's going through his mind.
It's just linked into his mind.
His mind is his parents' death. Especially Martha, because of the grave that we saw him go up to.
Right.
That other creature's just smashed out of. But
So what I think is actually hilarious about this is that, and we're going to talk about a little bit of this in both of these, and feel free to comment, people.
Yeah!
But one of the things that I find hilarious is that people have been like dogging on Batman v Superman because of the mother theme. And it's like, is that a good motivation to spare somebody's life? Apparently, it's a good enough motivation for someone to end somebody else's life, because nobody seems to have a problem with Iron Man's motivation in this movie to be like,
it's true.
You killed my mother. I'm gonna kill you, but I'm not only gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill one of my best friends, one of my best buds, because he's defending you. Mm-hmm. Right. And it's like,
yeah.
So I mean, same kind of dealio, because I could see how somebody would be like, oh, well, he's just trying to kill a person who killed his mother. But that's not the case, because he's even willing, like, and it gets close down to that line where you're like, somebody's going to die here.
Yeah, he's like, stay down. He's basically, trying to beat him within an inch of his life.
Right.
Talking about Steve, Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure Iron Man would have killed Steve.
Yeah, and then, so, I don't know if you caught this, but I feel like there was a moment in the theater we saw this at.
Right.
Earlier on in Civil War, where he's talking to Mr. Rogers is talking to Bucky. I'm just going to call him Mr. Rogers. I'm just going to start calling him Mr. Rogers.
Stevie Wonder.
He's talking to Bucky, and there's some dialogue, and it's revealed, some of the relationship between them is revealed, and there's a change of attitude, and the Hawkman is like, so we're good just like that? Do you remember this part of the movie? And then like some of the audience member kind of chuckled, like it was a reference to, oh, but our moms had the same name. Oh, okay, I guess we're good then. That type of feel.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. Yeah.
And I forget the exact nature of the situation, but there was definitely a moment that I almost was wondering if they like
because Bucky's like, your mother's name is Sarah.
Yeah.
And then he's like, and you used to wear newspapers in your shoes or something like that, like in your
Yep,
sneakers.
yep.
And it's like, oh. And then he's like, yeah, only Bucky would know that.
That's right.
And then he's like,
yeah.
So we're good just like that? Like, what? So it's like, yeah, I mean, there's a little bit of
Yeah.
that cheesiness. So I personally just feel like if you're going to like dog on one, you need to dog on both because, quite honestly, there's stupidity in both. If you want to look at it that way, or it's fine. Like, and I'm more on the side where I'm like, you know what, it's fine. Like, you can't go into complete detail of everything.
Right.
You can't exposition on everything, and so there are moments where you're just gonna be like, I'm gonna roll with the flow. I can understand how that would happen.
I'm gonna roll with the flow. That's like that'd be something
I'm
I would
gonna roll
say.
with the flow.
That'd be something I would say. I like it. So, was there any other similarities? I think there was.
Yeah, people not.
Yeah. This
Not
is a
biting the
different.
dust.
This is a difference and a similarity. I know that
Yeah.
sounds weird to say, guys.
It sounds weird to say, but it is.
a lot of things here might sound weird to say. But a lot of people are also dogging, as you say,
Yeah.
BVS because of them choosing to kill Superman and then like having
Not
him
choosing to kill
yeah,
him.
then having him like rise again.
Right, which in the Death of Superman comic, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly, he's dead and he's dead. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
he's gone.
I'm fairly certain that is the case.
But then they
And
have
you
like that
mentioned-
moment at the end where it's like he's rising.
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't necessarily like. People made a big deal about that turning their choice around.
Yeah, being like
we're gonna choose to kill him and be like, oh, but then not.
right.
You know, and it's like, oh, okay. But I didn't really feel like that. That dust. Obviously, we know what's going to happen, but we obviously knew it was going to happen before the dirt rose. You know what I'm saying? So it was
Yeah.
kind of like that was almost like an Inception moment. I feel like, to where it's kind of like the very last frame is going to tip you in and give you this thought.
Right.
It might be a
that
thought you already
he
had.
might not be dead.
You may have already had the thought, you may have not, but it's just going to be like a kind of a clever thing to tie off the movie. And I was actually pretty cool with that.
But then there's like the Captain America Civil War
right.
similarity where it's like in the comics.
Yeah. What does the comics have to say about this?
in the comic, Steve Rogers dies. You know, like Captain America gets killed by Iron Man, and yeah, it's kind of it's not necessarily intentional, but it is a cause of what's going on and what happens.
Was it an accident? Or?
Sort of, but it's almost like if I punched you, like fake punched you like
Okay.
that,
Right.
and then punched you a little too hard, and it hurt. You know what I mean, kind of thing. It's more like one of those scenarios. I think, if I remember correctly.
So-
Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. But basically,
He punched him a little too hard, and it hurt.
yeah, that sounds stupid when you
And
say
then he
it like
died.
that. That sounds stupid when you say it like
Right.
that.
But nevertheless, the
comic has him die.
It made a decision to do that.
Yeah, it got the guts to actually commit to the decision to be like, he's dead. But the movie, on the other hand, I thought it was going to reverse the roles there for a second because Captain America's just pummeling Iron Man, and you're like, he's going to kill him.
Right.
And it's like, maybe it would be an accident, but that would like send it over the edge kind of thing. And I was like, oh man, they're going to do it.
Yeah.
But then they don't. And nobody dies. Nobody dies in this movie. Nothing. And I think that's one of the reasons why it's gotten such positive reviews is because nobody dies. There's no, like, I guess, gutsy decisions in this movie to be like,
Right.
we're going to do something that some audience members might not like,
Right.
but it's going to be better as a movie, like as a piece of art.
Yeah, I get the feeling that I've said that Civil War is a fun ride.
Yeah,
Like, it's
no,
a fun
and I
movie.
love. Yeah,
And I think
see
that's
our rating.
That's
or our
the thing.
Review.
That's the thing is, oh yeah, if you want to see our review, you can click your face, click his face if you want to see our
Every
review.
time.
Yeah, but then people were kind of like harping on BVS for it not being a fun movie.
Yeah.
And I'm cool with both. I'm cool with fun and not fun. And my thing is, since when did we become not cool with
Not fun.
not fun? Like, what changed between Dark Knight, which had, the Joker just completely being evil, and I don't know if there's much
a lot
humor.
of dark.
I don't know if there was much humor in that movie. People just ate it up.
Right.
What changed between that point and then BVS and people being like, You know what? It was just dark. There was not a lot of fun in it.
I'm
You
going
know,
to
it's
tell you
just
what I
dark.
think it is. I'm going to tell you exactly what I think it is.
Tell me, Derek. Exactly what
People
you think it
see
is.
the Dawn of Justice subtitle in that movie,
Mm-hmm.
and they think that this is going to be the Justice League, and the Justice League should be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Avengers is fun as a whole. And so they're, like, trying to make them the same thing, like, in their minds. Like, hold them, like,
Right.
Justice League should be fun.
Okay.
Avengers should be fun. Like,
I see what you're saying.
instead of it being, like, Justice League, if you've read Justice League, if you've seen Justice League, if you've done anything, like, with the Justice League or Batman or anything or DC,
Oh.
they're usually a
Yeah.
lot darker and a lot more serious in themes than the Marvel comics and the Marvel movies. And so I think they're just staying in line with that, but people in their minds, they're like, oh, they're just trying to copy the Avengers.
Dude.
And then when they didn't copy the Avengers, it was kind of like this whiplash thing where they were like, it's not fun. You know, like, that's just
Yeah,
my
I
opinion on it.
definitely see, like, you almost can't help but compare
Right.
it to in your mind.
And I gave both of them a 9, personally, just to throw that out there.
Right. The things that I had on toward against BVS didn't necessarily have to do with a lot of specific things.
Mm-hmm.
It was mainly just I felt like it wasn't as coherent as it could be.
Right.
And that's why I gave it a 7, but I gave Civil War an 8. Because what it did really well.
Right.
Although I want more of the themes and more of the deepness and more of the seriousness, which is why I'm gravitating towards Batman, DC stuff.
Right.
More
I can
often,
understand
more
that.
often than not.
I can understand
More
that.
often than not.
And just to like throw this out there too, I think you gave BVS a 7, and then you gave Captain America an 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Civil
and
War
so
8, yeah.
and so like even in terms of that, it's like you can tell, like, in your opinion, you know, like you gravitate more towards DC stuff because of the themes, but at the same time you recognize that this film was better as a movie.
Right.
I think in your opinion.
And as far as like the you mentioned Justice League, I think that I almost feel like a lot of the discombobulation, a lot of the incoherentness of BVS had to do with almost trying to be that way a little bit too much. You know, like people make a big deal about the email, you know, with the different icons, and then of like that's
Which I didn't like that either.
Little
I didn't
trailer
like
of
that.
each one. It was kind of like, oh yeah, then we're gonna put all these people in.
That was stupid.
In Civil War, we mentioned this. I was like, I think there are more superheroes in this one than an Avengers movie in Civil War.
Right, yeah.
And here's the thing, though, and they all work really well. The thing is, besides maybe Spider-Man, it's primarily Black Panther is the only person that they inject into the story, like a shot,
Right.
without any previous movie backstory, like a whole movie
Right.
or 3.
Or
To give them a running
or
start.
7.
Or 7.
No, I think the most has been like 3, which is Iron Man, I think.
Iron Man 7.
Right.
So that gives them plenty of, like, once you do that to a character, you basically have everything set up so that you can just have them enter into one scene in a movie. Everything's there. The audience is connected with them on a certain level already.
Right.
You don't have to try to give them
versus the other way,
depth.
which is like you're basically just introducing them all into one movie.
Right.
Instead
So
of being like build up.
So all the characters that we saw, there's obviously no depth to them. Like they didn't even.
Well, like, are you talking about like?
I mean, in their introducing of them, they didn't give them depth. It was kind of just like
it was like take it for granted.
It was a
stuff.
snapshot of their face. That's what it was.
Okay, yeah.
And unless it's a really good snapshot with like, well, okay, so we did see in Flash. So we're getting a little bit too detailed here, but in Flash, like we saw him like save a guy that was gonna mug his store.
Right.
So that shows that he has a little bit of, at least, I mean, it doesn't show us a lot.
He has some moral conscience.
Maybe, but he had like a smirk. Did you notice that? Like,
Yeah,
it was almost
he's like, I'm gonna beat this guy.
he's grabbing a lemonade or whatever, and then he was like, guy with a gun, okay. And then he gets back, and he's like still smirking,
Right,
So
like,
maybe
I
he
just
doesn't
kicked
have
this
any
dude's
moral
butt.
boundaries. Maybe it's just like,
He just likes to kick people's butts.
right, and he can get away with it if they have a gun.
Because he's fast.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. Like we don't really know the characters.
I can understand that.
So I feel like Marvel with the Avengers does that better right now as far as like the ensemble. superhero stuff.
And I think I said something like that, like
Yeah.
in the review, where it's just like they're good at like bringing characters together and putting them on screen.
They made it fun,
It's good
action.
times.
So guys,
Yeah.
let us know what you think. If you were one of these, they seem to be kind of rare, but the BVS supporters. And you know what? You don't have to pit one against the other. I mean, maybe you do have to.
Yeah. Well.
In fact, if we want to troll right now, we should like command thee to choose a side. But we're not going to do that.
No,
We're not going to do that.
because I don't want Civil War. And I don't mean the movie. I mean I don't want Civil War in the comics. Maybe I'm kind of like invoking that by saying that.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, please join in on the dialogue. Please don't miss any of our discussions by pressing that subscribe button.
Mm-hmm.
And then also be part of the dialogue by commenting below, like we've said. If you like this video, press the like button. And join us next time on the dialogue.